I'm ready when you guys are. All right. So welcome back for tonight's session. So super excited. Congratulations to all of you for getting to 103 demos booked up tonight. So great job, excellent job as a team, and Tommy seems pretty fired up too. So that's good. Hey, bro. Hey, play with this one. This one's so better. It doesn't have a squeaky thing.
Just chilling here.
It's like where's you going? It's over there. You'll see it. Hopefully.
I'll find it.
Hopefully. All right. So your distraction, Tommy. We booked up 103 appointments tonight. We had 186 ahead of us. The winning team was the blue team at 28 appointments booked up tonight, followed by number 27 at the black team, 26 from the red team, and every train has a caboose. And that caboose was the white team tonight. So the losing team, if you guys want to, the blue team, just tell them what type of pizza you guys want. That was part of the deal, but it's up to you guys if you want to follow through on that.
What do you guys want on your pizza?
I'll take a white pizza with Alfredo sauce.
A white pizza.
I don't know what white pizza is.
Oh my goodness. So
Eat
eat them up. So you eat up the white pizza.
Throw some truffles. That could be argued.
Oh, it's funny, man. That's funny. If you guys want to put it in that order, that'd be cool. And that's it's more for fun than anything. I want to go ahead and start our meeting. Please grab a pen and paper. Just kind of share some random thoughts with you today. And then we'll pass things on over to Mr. Gamboa, and then Jesse will wrap up our session tonight. And I want to, our theme last week we talked about was testing your power, right? We talked about testing your power. We talked about slaying your dragon. We talked about what was the big hit from the analogy that I used last week was, I don't even remember, it was off the top. The sheep, right? The sheep doesn't care about what the lion thinks of it, right? Or vice versa. The lion doesn't care what the sheep thinks of it, right? So that was like the big hit. And it was, from last week. We talked about slaying your dragon and testing your power. And one of the questions I want you to write down is I want you to journal through this for just a moment. How have you tested your power since last Thursday? So since Thursday night when we had that conversation about testing your power, pushing yourself to the limits, tapping into your full potential. For those of you that weren't here, try to think back in the last week. How did you test your power? Like, where did you have a chance to back down, but instead you stepped up? Not just in business, but in life. But in business would be preferred since we're in a business setting. But what have you done? Anything that you did different this last week than you maybe normally would have done? Where you had a chance to go for easy, but instead you chose tough. Think back to last week. We're looking back on it, you're like, I never usually would have done that, but I overcame it, and this is how. Maybe it was asking for the sale after they uncomfortably said no, and then they decided to buy. Maybe it was during a phone jam. Maybe it was during organization when you said you were going to sit down and organize your list, and usually you would procrastinate, but instead you powered up and decided to organize the list and not procrastinate, and fought those feelings and those emotions. I did this once, shamefully saying it, but I had a demo and I called the customer to cancel because my friends were going out and I wanted to go out with my friends. So I called the customer to cancel the demo and told them I was sick. And then I called my manager and I said, hey, I'm just under the weather. My appointment canceled on me anyway. So wasn't able to do the appointment. Shame. Shameful. Shameful. But maybe it was one of those weak moments where you're like, oh, my friends, this and that. But you know what? Maybe I would have canceled, but instead I followed through and I actually did it. Maybe it was one of those moments where you overcame. Everybody have at least one? Everybody have at least one, yeah? So what I want you to do is I want you to think and I want you to write, if you can, 10 to 20 benefits. 10 to 20 benefits for you of continuing to test your power. Before we do that, look, who can give me an example of, who can give me one example of where had you overcome this last week, RJ?
Well, before Sunday, I never made 200 phone calls, and that was like a big thing for me. Because I'd never just sat down and done 200 phone calls.
Yeah, that was big. So test the power. So if that was his test of like sitting down making 200 calls and actually sitting down, executing and making the 200 calls, what are 10 to 20 benefits of consistently having that type of self-talk and testing that power for the next 14 days? There's 14 days left of the push. So what would be the benefits of you continuing to test your power, for you to continue to overcome that inner mental game? Give me another moment to write down as many of those benefits you could think of. I want you to think about a small benefit as something as small as feeling good about myself. Something as personal as becoming a better version of you. Something as selfish as the result that came from it, such as the appointments and the sales. Or something as selfless as now the rest of the team has a higher standard, since one person was able to set up and make 200 calls in that example. Maybe it was selfish. Maybe it was selfless. Maybe it was really intimate or personal. How many benefits could you think of? Maybe it was a conversation that needed to be had. Or maybe you were short with someone. You're just very abrupt. And I actually went back and apologized to that person. Maybe it's like, I got to test that power. I tapped into it. I just had that happen with Delila. It was very short and abrupt with her over lunch. And not even intentionally, I didn't even realize it until afterwards, in retrospect, I was like, I haven't seen this girl in like months. She's been up in Pensacola. I just felt like we talked solely about business and I really didn't get a chance to catch up. So the awareness of, I didn't give her the time that she deserves. So I had to own my power and apologize, which sometimes is hard. Because I didn't really, I really need to apologize. But it felt right. It felt like I was supposed to for the relationship. So maybe there's something like that. And what are all the benefits that go with that type of decision? What are all the benefits that go with that between selfish benefits, selfless benefits, personal, intimate benefits? Cool. While you're what I want you to do is I want you in this room, we'll use quick. I'm going to give you 6 seconds. I'd like the front row to find someone in the back row and someone in the second row to find someone in the third row. I want you to find someone and do a little pair share, 60 seconds, nothing crazy, of what was yours. Maybe 90 seconds. Where you I want you to verbalize what you ended up putting into writing. Share whatever you choose to share. If it's super personal and you don't want to share it with someone, that's fine. It's up to you. Share what you choose to share. But I wanted to verbalize what your experience was. This is just between you and the person you're going to start with. So you guys have 7 seconds to stand up where you are and go find someone and verbalize what you just talked about. Go, 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 go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your hand if you don't have a partner. Raise your hand if you don't have a partner. Find someone else who has their hand up and you can be lonely together. All right, Josh and Chelsea, go for it. Ten seconds and then switch if you haven't switched. Switch if you haven't switched yet. Switch if you haven't switched. Once you're done, you'll give your partner a high five and then come on in or come on back and grab a seat. Who feels like someone in the room, their partner had a really good one, like a really good one that is worthy that we could talk publicly about. Who had a good breakthrough? Who felt like their partner had a good breakthrough or a good test your power scenario or story?
Like good or like great? Because
I want a great one. I'd like the best one in the room. The best one in the room. Daniel, you think your partner had the best one in the room?
Mine was the best one in the room.
But it was definitely very good.
It was good?
Yeah.
Can we use that?
Yeah.
Cool. So, Danielle, what was it?
So he was in the Keys this past weekend, so he stepped away from the pool and went inside and made phone calls. And then on Sunday, he spent the all-day call day on the drive home.
Dang.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, Mason, what were the benefits that came from that for you? What were the
I said it felt good.
So
Well, it
selfish.
didn't feel good while I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but afterwards, I was like, all right, good. Now I can
Mhm.
I was on pace with the rest of the team. It's not like I was lagging behind.
Yeah.
Give me confidence going into the start. Obviously, that would also mean you earn more.
Yeah.
You meet more people.
So self-confidence feels good in the moment. Feels bad in the moment, but feels good afterwards.
Feels much better after, yeah.
Synergizing with the team, because without yours, we would have fell short of our 200 and our 300 numbers that we were going for,
Yeah.
right? So you kind of did your part. You got paid because you had the appointment set up ahead of you. You sold like $2,000 so far, whatever you're at. So you make 45%. So you almost made like $1,000 off of that decision. So
At $3,000.
oh, you're at $3,000. My bad. So even more income off of the decision, right? So there's several benefits there. Several benefits. And there's probably a bunch, right? Thank you for letting us use as an example. That's one of many examples that are in the room. Why do we want to start here? Why do I want to create that framework for tonight? Why is this important? Is because every time you have a chance during this push to back down or step up, every time you can choose to step up, you're becoming a better version of you. That's what this push is about. The push is about being all in. I had to find the shirt. It's a little stained, been in the archives for a little bit, but the push is about being all in. That's what it's about. It's about being all in. It's about saying, you know what? I'm burning the boats. I'm burning the boats. If we're going to take the island, we're going home on their boats. My boats are gone. My past is done. It's a new day every single day. And I'm really excited for what can happen when you move past your past and what opportunities you can present to yourself. So I shared a couple of videos last week. I want to share another one. And many of you guys probably know Ed Sheeran, and maybe you've seen this video. But this is kind of an example of what moving past your past looks like. This is really important for you to think about.
I was a very, very, very weird child. Very weird child. And I had a Paul Weinstein birthmark on my face that I got lasered off when I was very young. And one day they forgot to put the anaesthetic on, and then ever since then I had a stutter. And I also had very, very big blue NHS glasses. And the thing that I found most difficult about it was knowing what to say, but not really being able to express it in the right way. So I did different speech therapies and stuff, which wasn't very successful. At a young age, I got very, very into rap music. My dad bought me the Marshall Mathers LP when I was 9 years old, not knowing what was on it, and let me listen to it. And I learned every word of it back to front. It helped me get rid of the stutter. Stuttering is not a thing you have to worry about at all. Even if you have quirks and weirdness, you shouldn't worry about that. Just be yourself, because there's no one in the world that can be a better you than you. And if you try to be the cool kid from the class, you'll end up being very boring. Be yourself, embrace your quirks. Being weird is a wonderful thing. Don't ever treat it as an issue. Don't see it as a plight on your life. And pushing forward. And I did all right. You did all right as well.
So, and for those of you guys who don't know, like Ed Sheeran's like ridiculously popular now and makes a lot of money and sings and performs in front of millions of people and thousands and tens of thousands of people, and he has a lot of songs out there and stuff. And I think about the power of you having a breakthrough. Now, maybe you're not working through a stutter, but maybe it's working through a fear of making calls or calling people or asking for a sale with confidence or whatever it is that you're working through. Think about what this push is. The push is working through the law of averages. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows, and you're just going to have averages. And working through the emotional roller coaster that goes behind it. If that's what the push is about, is fighting through the inner battle of those law of averages, of when you don't feel like doing something but doing it anyway, who do you become afterwards? Maybe you don't become Ed Sheeran, but you become the best version of you. And that's what we want. What does the best version of you look like after the push is done? It becomes easy. That's what's fun. You're able to sustain it. Someone once told me, he said, like I was training for a 10K. It sucked, by the way. And I was training for a 10K. I got a little medal next door. It's like, yay, thanks. The 68 minutes of running wasn't worth that little medal, I promise you. Yeah, 68 minutes. It's not very good. It was painful.
That's not
68
bad.
minutes. Not bad. It sucked. It sucked and painful. Like I was crying at one point, and when I saw it was at the 3 mile mark, and I was like, it's halfway. I don't think I can do this. It sucks. You know, it was like so painful, and it was awful. But I did it, and I finished it. And what did I get when I was finished? A little medal and a T-shirt that says, good job. So I went through 68 minutes of pain for a medal. And guess, you ready for this? Everyone else got the same medal, and everyone else got the same T-shirt. That sucks. That sucks. So he endured all this pain for what? It wasn't about the prize. It was about the process. You guys see? Never about the prize. It's always about the process and who you become. But because now I'm able to look back and say, I'm a pretty tough dude for being able to go through that type of pain. And you don't even know how much you can endure until you put yourself to the limit. And your pain isn't physical here in CutGo. It's mental, it's emotional, it's psychological, it's staying focused, it's discipline, it's clarity, it's decision making. Those are the disciplines that we're talking about. And when you can sustain that beyond this push, that's when you get to interview for awesome opportunities like a TLA or other job opportunities outside of CutGo. And you don't go in for interviews, you interview companies to figure out which ones you want to work for. That's exciting. And that's where you create options. So I want to use this as the premise for today, is to help to continue bringing to the surface, the push is not about CPO. It's about testing your power. It's about overcoming those inner obstacles and winning as many times as you potentially have a chance to lose. And every time you fall down, you knock down, you just get back up. Someone once said, if I get knocked down 13, I get up 14. right? That's it. That's what the push is about, and who you become in that process. So those are my thoughts from Mike today. Let's transition to thoughts from Jeff, and then I'll have Jesse wrap us up, and then we'll do some Cutco Olympics as far as tonight goes. So let's figure out where the hell Jeff is. Oh, there he is. All right. So here's Mr. Gamboa. This is our division manager taking time out of his day to share 5 minutes of info with us.
Hey, Florida United team, it's your division manager, Jeff Gamboa. I am just finishing up our sales leadership development meeting, and what an event. It was exciting to meet some of our top new up-and-coming members of our Florida United team. I want to say congratulations for being invited to our summer conference too. Congratulations on attending this very integral first step meeting towards progressing and advancing with our Florida division, our TLA program, and of course all the great things that happen when you continue to produce and get on my radar. So props to all of you who I just got a chance to meet. I also want to say we have the national sales report. I'll make this quick, but we have national representation all over the place. I want to give props to Jonathan Castell, number 9 in the whole company from Metro Miami. We have 3 of the top 20 branches in the country. Number 19, Maggie Cardenas, Port Charlotte. Number 8, Eric Palacio in Aventura. And number 1 in the entire nation for his birthday, Grant Strahan, the Naples Herd. Top vet offices. We have San Juan, Puerto Rico, finishing top 4 in the nation for new. We have the Fort Lauderdale Pilot, number 8 in the whole company. Number 6 Pilot in Metro Miami, leading the way with number 1 in the entire new office category, and finishing top 5 in the entire country. Congratulations to all of our top people and our Florida United team. Just the East Coast alone, Florida Caribbean side, just that part. Number 5 in the whole country for the week. You can write this number down. Our company sold $5.3 million in sales of Cutco for the week. And here's a little extra tidbit you can add. Mrs. Jones, we sell over $260 million annually with over 60 million customers. And I just got a video from my manager, our division manager. We just sold $5.3 million this week alone because we have such amazing values. People in some cases are getting Cutco holiday gifts now in July. And it's the biggest contest period, so I can get you the best deals. So, food for thought. I have two very quick important things to talk about. Number 1 is Summer Conference 2. July 27, 28, we have 3 charter buses heading up to the biggest, most exciting, most motivational, most dynamic, most instructional, and really most life-changing and Cutco experience, capitalizing, if you will, event that we run all year, and that's Summer Conference 2 in Atlanta, where the entire Eastern region will be. The top managers, top reps. It's a combination of the best coming together for competition, meaning highest powered instruction possible from our best managers and sales reps, synergy, and of course my favorite part is the first step of getting into and learning about Leadership Academy, TLA. So if you haven't already heard, we are bringing an army to Summer Conference 2 as our Florida United team, our U team, goes up against the other 5 divisions. We need your help. We need more people. So A, how many people can you team build to help build our army before we go to the conference? And then number 2, what are you doing to drive our Summer 2 push? Right now we're in day 3, actually day 2 of the Summer Conference push, SC2 push. And we're really looking to build as many people as possible. So if you're already invited, I'd like you in your office right now to raise your hand, and then everyone can see across your office that who's officially invited. Props to you, congratulations. You're gonna have an epic experience, and more importantly, you're gonna get a chance to hear about how to get into TLA. I said this at our meeting earlier that it's like going to college, and I went to a very big public school, University of Maryland, and there's a big difference between people who stayed on campus and got a chance to experience that, and people who didn't live on campus and they commuted. And yes, they went to college, but there's nothing like, not just the fun and the partying, but the experience, the school camaraderie. And people who talk about living on campus have a different experience of their college times. And the same thing goes with people doing Cutco through college. When people think about their summer, those that went to SC2, it's a completely different feeling from people who don't get invited to SC2. So props to those of you that are invited, props to those of you that I met today that got invited. And there are a few of you who didn't raise your hand right now. Get invited to the summer conference too. Okay, there's an investment in yourself. There's the opportunity to build your skills to make more money. And I can just tell you, I can't imagine having someone go through a program and say they got the best of their experience possible without going to summer conference too. Talk to your managers, have people share in the office you've been. They'll tell you it's a must attend event, and talk to your manager how you can get signed up. In fact, a few of you will be meeting with your manager after the meeting tonight to talk about it. And then the last thing I want to talk about is our competitions, our push periods, an 18-day push. We have now almost 2 days done, and we're going up against all the divisions in the company, and we've assembled our 10K Alliance. These are the best of the best reps across Florida United, and our goal is to give extra coaching, high positive pressure, create circles of influence so that people on the Alliance are getting extra attention to sell more Cutco. The average person on our 10K Alliance is going to sell a minimum of $10,000 or up to $20, $30, $40+ thousand as a brand new sales representative. The income is highest with this group, the experience is highest, and for those of you, again, that are excited about Leadership Academy, this is the group that we picked from, our SC2 Gunner 10K Alliance group. So if you went to an SLDM today, you asked your manager about what it would be like. Ask your manager if you can get onto the 10K Alliance. If you're not seeing the results you want, get onto the 10K Alliance. And those of you that are on, keep leading by example. We're already 2 days into the push, and there are already some pretty solid updates, and we're just getting going. So I wanted to make the video quick and short so you can really impact your team meeting. Let's have an awesome Alliance tomorrow morning, and let's continue as we go into the second part of the push to make a statement here with Florida United. So have an awesome time, everyone. Great to see you at the team meeting today, and have a great Wednesday evening. Talk to you guys soon. See ya.
All right. So Jesse's going to talk to us about his perspective last year at the conference. To wrap us up, I have the rough agenda for you, just so you know. We got the first talk is going to be Scott Dennis is going to kick us off with some opening comments. He's the region manager. He's like direct report from Jeff Gamboa. Then there's going to be the push countdown where you're going to witness people selling. I got to lead to believe number one is going to be over 50 grand. It's somewhere going to be between $50,000 and $100,000. You'll see someone sell $50,000 to $100,000 in a 2.5 week period, 18 days. It's mind blowing. And then here's the best part: you'll watch them do their demo at nighttime. So it's unreal. Then there's going to be Selling Like a Hall of Famer by Andy Jonti, $3 million in sales. Then there'll be dinner. Then there'll be special awards and recognition for all of the milestones and whatnot. And that really helps you see big picture, like some of the people getting recognized for not just selling, like in our office, $1,000 in a week hitting the newsletter, but like selling $200,000 to $500,000 in a year, and like pacing towards Hall of Fame $10 million. Or it's just really awesome. Then there's going to be a closing workshop for the basic reps. So those of you that are under 15,000 in sales will be a closing fundamental workshop for about an hour on just closing, on refining your skills. Then there will be a leads and prospecting workshop on just helping you get more appointments. For those of you that are over 15,000 in sales, you'll be in a breakout with myself and Robert Simmons. Robert Simmons has an average order of over $1,000. He's going to be teaching selling everything, ultimate signatures, and more. I'm going to be teaching maximizing service calls. I'm teaching how to work with customers who already own Cutco and helping you maximize that. Then we reconvene for a management opportunity message, special announcements, the champions reception, along with the late night with the FSMs. There will be about 30 field sales managers over $150,000 to $3 million in sales doing their demo live, real time, different languages, virtual, sharpenings, all different types of appointments that you want to watch. You go table to table and watch them do their appointments live. We wake up next morning for breakfast buffet. Then we have an on-time drawing. There's a leadership guy coming in from the Northeast. His name is Trent Booth. He's going to be doing an hour workshop called Your Next Breakthrough and Becoming Unstoppable. So it's more of a personal growth type of message. And then we have a talk called The Next Big Thing, which is going to be some sort of goal setting workshop. For those of you that are under 15K, we'll be learning how to be a super set seller by Nicole Reed, who's right at $1 million in sales. And Phone Skills Like a Boss by Carter Hayes, the guy who Will talked about last week, who, what do you have, 60 appointments on 65 calls or pickups or like something ridiculous, right? The guy's pretty amazing. For those of you guys that are over 15K, you'll be in a workshop with the cookware, A to Z, from the actual Regalware who makes our cookware. They're going to be doing a full workshop on educating you on the cookware if you're over 15K. Then Taylor Maxicard is going to be doing selling cookware tips from a sales rep standpoint. Then there's going to be a Cutco Through College message, a branch manager opportunity message. There'll be a little bit of like a leadership academy workshop as well as a questionnaire. And then there will be a motivational wrap up to put us into action. So those are the topics. I mean, those are the topics of what I have at this point in time. And then we have the Magic Bus ride, of course, on the way there and on the way back, where you get a chance to do some networking and finishing strong and creating some synergy as an organization with the entire Tampa Bay crew, which we're excited about. I can't really just I can't build up the event because I'm going. I've never missed an event, and this is my 15th one. But Jesse had the opportunity to go last year as a first time, and I want him to share from his standpoint and his vantage point on what to look forward to as far as the conference experience, and why we're doing this. Let me call it what it is. I want as many of you to be there. Why would I want you to be there? It's because I know if you attend, you're going to get more value out of it, and you're going to finish the summer strong and position yourself for the best opportunities for beyond just this summer. And that's why I want you there. Frankly, it doesn't make a difference. I don't get a bonus if you go, but I will get a chance to work with you longer if you do. That's what's going to happen, because you're going to sustain growth, motivation, and excitement, and then I get a chance to continue to work with you, because if you lose that momentum and excitement, then you fizzle out, kind of like some of the people from your training class. And that's essentially what we don't want to have happen. This is that next boost. So I asked Jesse to talk from his vantage point a little bit about the conference, and then if you're not signed up, today's the last day before the prices go up. So we'll talk a little bit about how to go for free, and we'll wrap up. So Jesse, if you won't mind sharing from your vantage point a little bit about the conference and what you thought about it last year, from your vantage point. So you could go.
So
Perfect.
Jeff and Mike actually just said a lot of it about what excites me about the conference. Going last year, I'd gone to SC1, I went to SC2 as well, and SC1 is a fun conference, but it's nothing like SC2. So if you're trying to compare that, and that's what you're looking at, like trying to compare it, it's not even close. SC2, the energy is so much higher. The music is unreal. Like, you walk into the conference and it's insane. The bus ride up, you get, for me, the biggest thing that came out of it was the team, the bonding that comes from it, and bonding with your own team, as well as reps from other regions and offices, which is pretty cool. I know I now have friends in other offices, in the Tampa office and down south. It's pretty cool to be able to go to other conferences and see them again, and also talk to them about how their push went. Maybe they have different best practices than what you've heard from your own team. And also just hearing the messages and hearing the speakers is crazy. Like, you'll hear Andy Jonti's close and his presentation on why he sells so much Cutco. And then going to the late night with the FSMs is, you're going to be tired. It's going to be a long day, but you have to make it to that, their demos. Because watching someone like Andy Jonti do his full demo right in front of you live, you can take 2-3 pages of notes easy. It's crazy. And then what that leads into, for me personally, and for a lot of people coming out of the conference, the momentum boost and the confidence boost you have coming out of that, you're going to sell and you're going to surprise yourself at how well you're selling. Because then you go into August and you're going to sell 5,000-10,000 before you go back to school and make another $3,000 just because of going to that conference, just because of the things you learned. And I know that happened for me. And it's a really, really cool experience. And also just being able to spend the night in a hotel with the whole team, it's a lot of fun. It's a fun time, trust me. You'll get closer to people. I'm not saying anything directly. It's okay.
Trey's in.
Vector connect. But honestly, if you're in town, you need to be there just because of how beneficial it will be for your personally and also your Cutco career. Both of those will benefit it immensely. So if you're in town, you need to go to it and at least experience it, because if you're working for Vector and you're doing the knife job, you really didn't do it if you didn't make it to SC2, because it's a different experience and it's really, really cool. And you should definitely look forward to it and go. Also, it's free and you kind of get paid to go if you do it right.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you. So what Jesse's alluding to as far as you get paid to go. So here's how it works. And I know Grant, that's why I said I'll talk about it tonight. I don't have to get signed up. So pretty much everyone else in the front row has one. You can pass this down. Let me just take one. You can pass this back. If you don't have one of these, most of you already do. But let me just plug this real quick. So here's how it works. It is the event includes your food. It includes your hotel stay. It includes the rental of the venue. I found out the company spends about $80,000 of their money to put this on for us to go out and make more. For you guys, it's the investment is $279. Now, how this works is what Jesse's talking about. How do you go for free? Nicole, you sold all 8 table knives so far? Was it to one customer? So what did you say to that one customer to get sponsored?
When we compared her table knives, she was saying, oh wow, mine aren't that good, because she thought that they were much better than she thought they would be better than the Cutco ones, but when she saw the difference, I was like, oh yeah, no, our table knives, they're amazing. Like, actually, I have a way that you can help me out, because it is someone that I've been friends, it's a mom of a close friend. So she was like, oh, of course, I'd love to help you out. So I just explained what it was, and since she already realized she needed table knives, she just talked to me.
Simple.
So
That's it. So all you do, if you sell a homemaker plus 8, you just sell them at the basic homemaker, and then they just buy the plus 8 from you. They buy the table knives from you. So how it works is for $279, you get the hotel stay, you get the food, you get all that, and you get the speakers, the whole conference, and you also get 8 table knives to go to the event. So how it works is you can get this table knife sold. I have the sheet printed next door. You have this sheet, and you just have a customer. They could buy 1 table knife, or you could have one customer buy 8 table knives. You could have split it up amongst customers, and you just sell them. The table knives are $41 each plus tax. I would sell them plus tax. I would sell them for $45 each, because that's what they cost through Cutco. $45 each times 8 of them. What's the math on that? That's $360. The event is $279 before the price goes up today or tomorrow. That means you make money by going to the event, to Jesse's point. Does everyone see? So it's a no-brainer. It's not about money. The real question is do you want to have this momentum continued beyond just July? And if the answer to that question is yes, and you like this, then you got to be there. If the answer is unsure, then we got to kind of get off that fence, and whatever we need to do to get you off that fence, talk to me one-on-one. Essentially is what we want to get accomplished. But if you're going to go, I want to do it before the price goes up, of course. So what does it say here? You can take it right out of your next paycheck. It'll be $139.50 this week. It'll be $139.50 from your check next week. And as you sell the table knives, you just keep that money for yourself. So it just takes it right out of your commission account. If you choose that you want to just put it on a credit card, you can put it on your credit card and then just pay the credit card company later. You could do it that way, so nothing's taken out of your paycheck. But I do want to reserve your seats, because we do need to reserve that. So as far as that goes, I just want to get you guys signed up. So for those of you that aren't, so I know, Grant, all you got to do is essentially give this sheet to me. And then I'll sign you up and I'll get you registered. If you have questions, just ask me. Just ask me. I'll tell you straight up. Of course, I want you to talk to your parents. Of course, I want you to make sure that you're comfortable. But let me at least, guide you and support you as best way possible. So with that being said, that's the conference plug for tonight. The last thing I want to do is a couple of special promotions. One of the things that we pride ourselves on is opening up opportunities for people that are doing a good job. My first step to get on my radar, and the people that I hang out with and that I communicate with, of course, my alliance for just a couple of weeks, but year round, and the people that I invest most of my time into is my key staff. Key staff is the key to unlock all the future opportunities. It's the first step towards TLA. It's the first step towards increasing your average order, increasing your closing percentage, and just getting extra time with the top people in the organization. So every time you get promoted to key staff, you want to text Jeff immediately. Hey, I got promoted to key staff. I'm excited to earn an interview and earn a spot to get a chance to interview and meet with you. Just stay on his radar. The first person that we discussed as a key staff and a staff, we said this person is doing a great job. She's committed to our alliance. She stepped up when we needed her to step up. She got sick and bounced right back with tenacity and excitement. The requirements, you have to be over 3,000 in sales. You have to have a positive attitude, and we like you. And that's it. And this person has bounced back and has done it in a big, bad way. Left Sunday's phone jam with over 20 appointments set up ahead of her. It's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. And she also committed to our alliance. And that's why we wanted to promote Ms. Nicole Wergo today. We appreciate you. I know you're up here, so I'm kind of trapped up here. But thank you, and continue doing what you're doing. And you want to wear that pin to the conference so everyone knows that you're part of the key staff. The second person we wanted to promote tonight is also doing a fantastic job. Super positive, super upbeat. Will says this person checks in, checks out, communicates better than just about any single other person that has an opportunity to work with. I personally very much enjoy working with this person. High energy, super personality. Love working with her, and she's doing a fantastic job as well. Over $3,000 in sales, and wasn't able to commit to the alliance, but she committed to her own alliance, and that's exciting about prioritization and standing her principles and still selling and still being consistent and still being positive, and we appreciate that. And that's why, as a key staff and a staff, we wanted to promote Ms. Ellie Collins to key staff tonight. So, Ellie, $2,000 in sales. Great job. Kudos to you. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. And what celebrity does Ellie look like, by the way? What actress?
Oh my god.
Oh, I know.
That one girl from that one show.
Like when he asked that question, I could see it, but I can't.
Yeah, it starts with an E. I got it on. Yeah.
Emma Stone, the voice. I was on FaceTime with her, and I was like, oh my God, at this angle, you look like Emma Stone, right? That's funny. And one more promotion tonight, and then we'll wrap up. Go ahead and post your light bulbs from tonight, from my opening comments or from anything tonight beyond the key staff meeting. You can post those. But this next person that I wanted to promote tonight is really doing a fantastic job as well, and also committed to our alliance, brand new, just hit her $3,000 pay raise, and it's been fun. It's been really fun to watch this young lady come into her comfort in this organization, and it was pretty unconventional way. She's been recommended to the job about a dozen times, and finally chose to come in to apply and start selling Cutco, and has joined the alliance and is now over 3,000 in sales. And I couldn't be more pleased to get a chance to work with this young lady over the next several months. And since she's local, maybe even longer than that. And that's why, as a key staff and the staff, we wanted to promote Ms. Hannah to our next and newest promotion to key staff as well, which is really exciting. So put your phones down and give her also a big round of applause. So thank you for being here and thank you for making it. We appreciate that. She's actually has a national dance competition tomorrow, so she's about to drive to Orlando right now to get to that, which is really awesome. So thank you for being here. Everyone, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. I do have Alliance in the morning and then training right afterwards, so please pick up all your trash. For Cutco Olympics, we will need the tables. So if you're going to be sticking around, blue teams, red teams, white teams, and black team, you guys can stick around. If you got to roll, you got to roll. No big deal. But it will only take. We'll probably be done in maybe 15 minutes. The whole thing takes maybe 15 minutes. So have a great night. Enjoy, and we'll be starting the Cutco Olympics in